Just this week, President Trump voted by mail in Florida after months of criticizing the practice. The president continues to claim mail-in ballots lead to fraud, despite using them himself. Studies also suggest otherwise.
Investigator Lewis Bolden put the claim through the Trust Index while taking into consideration recent actions by the U.S. Postal Service.
But now they want to send in millions and millions of ballots.
Universal mail-in ballots is a system where states automatically mail ballots to all registered voters. A handful of states do it, and the president is standing by his unsubstantiated claim that it will lead to fraud.
They're being discarded. They're finding them in piles. It's going to be a catastrophe.
In Florida, voters have to request an absentee or mail-in ballot, which the president did. This year, because of coronavirus, more people are expected to skip the polls and vote by mail.
It's very difficult to do voter fraud these days.
News 6 political analyst Dr. Jim Clark says when it comes to voter fraud, there is often smoke, but no fire.
In cases where people have claimed voter fraud, the reality is that investigations have shown there was no voter fraud.
Case in point, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement investigated 3 allegations of fraud after the 2018 election. One involved 12 vote-by-mail ballots received electronically after Hurricane Matthew. Another involved denying the entrance to Republican Party observers during a recount. And the third involved 4 vote-by-mail ballot cure affidavits with an altered submission deadline. FDLE found there was no evidence of fraudulent intent.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement launched an investigation, found there was no evidence of voter fraud in the 2018 election.
In July, the U.S. Postal Service sent letters to all states, including Florida, warning that ballots requested near the deadline may not be returned by mail in time to be counted. In Florida, absentee ballots can be requested by mail no later than 5 p.m. 10 days before the election. But request the ballot now and you could get it by late September.
Make sure that you take care of getting it back to us.
Orange County Supervisor of Elections Bill Cowell says make sure your ballot is signed and you might consider not putting it back in the mail because of the time it takes to be delivered. You can drop off an absentee ballot during early voting at many locations without even leaving your car. Then you can track your ballot online to see if there are any issues or if it's been accepted.
But I think the key thing is take personal responsibility for your ballot.
Based on FDLE investigations and interviews with experts, voting by mail in Florida is safe. But with the warnings from the U.S. Postal Service, we also urge voters to be careful about meeting deadlines when voting by mail. For more information about how to track your ballot online when voting by mail, look for this story on clickorlando.com. Reporting downtown Orlando, I'm Lewis Bolden, getting results, News 6.